Alright everybody, what is going on? How you all doing? We are here with Bloodborne, and I know I said I wasn't planning on doing a walkthrough for Bloodborne, and that's true, I wasn't planning on doing a walkthrough, but I decided that I was going to. I played the game. I spent just over 25 hours playing the game and beating it, and this game is just such a delight. I had to share it with you guys. It's just a fun game. So I have a new character here who's roughly at about the same spot where I ended that first video I did. This is a new character completely. I leveled her up a good bit, and this is a female character this time. But this isn't going to be my typical walkthroughs. My typical videos would, I guess, be more classified as Let's Plays. This will be more of a walkthrough. I'm going to be giving you guys some tips and stuff along the way, showing you guys how I feel you should go through certain areas and all of that. So, first of all, I'm going to go over kind of the basics of the when you're creating a character, stuff like that, and the items I think you should choose when you first start a Bloodborne, and to kind of, like I said, I'm going to give you guys some tips and tricks that you could do throughout the game. Like I said, this isn't going to be an expert walkthrough or anything. I'm by no means an expert at this game, but I feel like I know some good tricks and stuff that'll help you guys get through the game a little bit easier. And one thing I do want to apologize up front about is if I sound a little weird or anything. I'm a little stuffed up. Allergies are kicking in. I live in ever since I moved to the state which I currently reside in the United States, I have had allergy issues, and I actually recently went to the doctor, got some spray stuff for my nose, fluticasone or whatever it's called. I don't know what this shit's called, but it's supposed to help clear up my nose a little bit, help with my allergies. So hopefully that'll help. I just got that today though, so it's not really taking effect just yet. But I am a little bit stuffed up, a little bit nasally sounding when I pronounce certain words and stuff. So hopefully that doesn't bother you guys too much. But first things first is when you go to create your character in Bloodborne, create your character however you want. Choose the stats that you like. I particularly like to, if you go to your character, look at the bottom left corner. I like to concentrate on vitality, endurance, strength, and skill. Those are the four I like to concentrate on the most. Blood, tinge, and arcane aren't really my thing. Although you may need to update or upgrade blood tinge a little bit depending on the gun and stuff you want to use. But I mean, for the most part, your initial character creation, you can pick whatever you really want. Now, when you die and go to the Hunter's Dream to get your initial starting weapons, I recommend, as for the gun, you can get, I mean, really whatever you want. For my particular playstyle, the gun doesn't really matter too much for me. So I just get the pistol. I feel it's a little bit faster. I think it does a little bit more damage too. While the blunderbuss is kind of like, it has more spread on it. So even if the enemy dodges, they're likely to still get hit in some capacity. But as for the weapon, you'll have three options: the hunter axe, the threaded cane, or the saw cleaver, I believe it's called. I recommend going with the hunter axe. It's actually pretty damn good. It here in its short form, it has really decently fast attacks. And in its secondary form, the long form, you do lose the ability to use your gun in this form, but I feel like the positives of this form outweigh the negative of not being able to use your gun. So pretty much, normally the gun is used by the left trigger. Instead, you get this sweeping attack, which can also be used more than once after that. Oh shit, I didn't mean to hit her. I'm sorry.
Welcome. What is it?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hit you. But even in the Hunter Axe's long form, it still has pretty fast attacks. That's the heavy swing. Here are the regular swings. They're still pretty fast. They do a good bit of damage and adds a good bit of reach to your character, which I feel is really important at the at the beginning of the game. Having that extra reach is really good. And I highly recommend the Hunter Axe, and in fact, the Hunter Axe is the weapon you could use throughout the whole game if you want. It is an all-around good weapon. I highly recommend it. And also, before we actually start getting into the gameplay, it's also, if you go to the the hunter's dream. It's also very beneficial to purchase this clothing right here. It's really good starter clothing. It will really help you out a good bit. And is definitely really good for starting out. But there is in the first area of the game in Central Yharnam, there is an armor set that you can get, that you can find, that is better than this, and it's actually not all that hard to find. So I'm not gonna buy these right now for this character. I'm just gonna wait till we actually find that armor set in Central Yharnam, which is the first place you start out in the game, so you guys should be able to find it off the bat. And it's actually a good armor set that you could use it throughout the whole game. It has really good stats all around, and so that's why I'm not purchasing that right now. But at the very beginning, I would recommend you guys purchase it. It is a good starter equipment to get. So we're gonna go to Central Yharnam, which is pretty much the first lamp that you actually acquire in the game. And then that's where I'm going to start this whole thing. I'm going to show you guys how I go throughout this area, and all the boss battles and stuff, where to find some stuff. I by no means know where everything is at. Like I said, I'm no pro at this game. I just feel like I know a good bit of stuff to at least help you guys get started in this game if you guys have not played it before. And this actually will not be a... Oh, something popped up on my computer. Try and cancel it. There we go, that should be good. But, what was I saying? This actually will not be an entirely, like, I have beaten the game. I beat it in just over 25 hours. But there are actually 2 places in this game with 3 optional bosses that I missed. I feel kind of dumb, actually. My throat's cloggy today. I actually feel a little bit dumb because I actually went out of my way to get all of the ingredients that I needed in order to get to those places, but by the time I got to the end boss, I forgot to go to those places. So these 2 places have 3 optional bosses that I've yet to fight, and I've yet to even explore those areas. So those 2 areas will be blind, and I will talk about those when I get to them. But for right now, we're just going to concentrate on this first area, Central Yharnam. Now, of course, I did go through a little bit to level up and stuff like that. And initially, this gate will be locked, so you will have to go this way. Don't forget to also talk to some of the NPCs locked up in their houses. You can talk to one right here. He provides you with a little bit of knowledge and stuff like that. Overall nice guy in that one. But most of them are kind of douchebags. But I'm going to show you guys how I go through this area. Like I said, initially, this gate right here will be locked. You will not be able to go through it. So you will pretty much be forced to go this way. So that is what we are going to do. We're going to start going this way. And I'm going to show you guys where just some stuff is, how I go go about this area. And it's not going to be too difficult. We're not going to drop down there just yet. This is just how I go through the area. I mean, I'm no pro at this game or anything, but really good. I feel like I could at least provide some stuff to help you guys with your initial playthrough of this game. And there is a jump attack there, right there. If you press forward and the L or R2 at the same time, you can do a jump attack. It's takes some practice to do. I obviously can't do it every time, but you'll kind of get the hang of it. I can't believe I didn't hit that guy. There we go. And I am going to kill all the people here, just because it is good experience. And a lot of free stuff. They're going to walk on ahead. And if you walk down those stairs and turn around, you'll see this gate, which is initially locked. If you pull this lever, you will be able to unlock it. Now, we are going to kill this guy. Now, you do run across these guys quite a... well, not a whole lot in the game, but they are pains in the asses if you don't catch them off guard. They don't particularly have a lot of health, but their speed combined with their weapon and reach makes them really annoying, to be honest. So even if you're a pretty high level and you can withstand a lot of damage, you gotta watch out for those guys because they do have a lot of strength and they can pull off some consecutive attacks pretty good. So we're gonna head up here real quick. If you head up here, there is NPCs you could talk to on the door. Usually, most of them don't really say anything in particularly great. Some of them will give you some knowledge. Most of the time, they just talk shit to you. And you could also talk to NPCs in this door over here. If you see like a red lamp by the door, it's usually NPCs you can talk to. There's a guy coming up behind me. Alright. Hey there, dude. Where'd the other guy go? Bam! I love that jump attack. Like I said, I initially wasn't going to do a walkthrough of this game, but this game is just so... It's really good. Be careful when you go up here. Dude around the corner. And I do, a lot of the times, how the smaller enemies use the lock-on ability. Not great for all enemies, and definitely bosses. Some bosses, it's actually pretty good to use the lock-on, but not all of them. And this is kind of how I go around this area. I take this side path over here. And if you walk over here, you can attract some enemies. The enemies really aren't too bad, especially if you get them kind of by themselves, one at a time. One thing I highly recommend using your gun for, especially if you got the pistol, since it has... I'm pretty sure it has a longer range, and it only shoots one bullet, is it's really good for attracting enemies. So what you can do is you can stand up here. I can aim at this guy, and I can shoot him, and then he'll run up here to try and kill me. Overall, really good tool for attracting the enemy's attention. Gotta watch out for that guy over there, though. Standing on the carriage, he has a gun. And that guy over there. And if you do get a lot of guys on you, be sure to just run away. Because a lot of times you can run away far enough to where the enemy will stop and go back to their general area, and you'll have just one guy chasing you, so then you can fight them one-on-one. And don't forget about your visceral attacks. They can be pretty useful. If you sneak up behind an enemy and do a charge attack, or parry them when they're in the middle of an attack, shoot them, you can do a visceral attack, which is like a special attack that does extra damage. Actually, oh fuck, I remember there's a dog here. The dog hides behind this carriage right here. Get over here. Watch out for those guys. They have like an axe that has pretty good reach, but also if you get too close, they'll light you on fire with your torch. That actually does a good bit of damage. Now we'll just walk up here. Guy with the gun should turn toward us. He's just a chump, though. There you have all your dead enemies. That pretty much takes care of this area. Now we have Mr. Big Guy banging on the door. Also, you can talk to these NPCs on the door over here. They're crazy, you can hear them laughing. Like nut jobs. But if you clear this way, there's a little drop here, which we will be taking, but here in a second. We will take that here in just a moment. I'm gonna kill the big guy here. Can't really sneak up on him, he'll hear you pretty much either way. But the Hunter Axe is a really good starting weapon. If you can do the charge attack on him, you can do a lot of damage to him. Even with your weapon not upgraded very far. And here you got your Murder of Crows. The crows do like to hit several times in a row. And I believe they are guarding a body. Yeah, this one that usually holds something. I don't remember what it holds, but I already got it. Now, if you go up here, this is the way we're not going to go right now. This is, I kind of do this area in a circular type motion, but you can go up there. We're going to go up there last, and usually this gate is shut. And I'm going to show you how to unlock it from the other side, going up that ladder you see there. But for right now, we're going to go the other way. We're going to go the other way, and we're going to take this drop over here. And with the dogs, they're kind of annoying. I would recommend shooting them. We're going to ignore those ones down there for now. Unless... Oh, I thought it was chasing me. And we're going to go up these stairs. Now, if you go up these stairs, they just lead to a dead body that's holding something right here. And then... we'll go... We're not going to go down there right now. That'll wait. But if you go across here, there'll be a door. This door will be shut, but you can open it from here. There's some enemies in here. Now watch out for this guy in the wheelchair. There's some dialogue you can read here. We're gonna go ahead and explore upstairs. There are two guys up here. Both of them are kind of hiding. This guy's over here. Oh, fucker. And take that. Then you can go up there. We're not going to go up there just yet. We're going to leave that be for now. But we will be up there soon enough. And then if you walk out the other side, if you go through that door, come out this one. There is a guy here. Oh, he's still alive. Had a sliver of health. And if you go up these stairs where he was hiding, you'll get to this gate, which you can open from this side to get back to the first lamp that you were at. That's how you unlock that gate. Just pretty much a shortcut to get back to that lamp. And the game does have quite a few of those. Shortcuts, anyway. And now we're going to go here. We're going to go down these steps and fight these two big guys. Just a bunch of chumps, really. Especially if you use the charge attack on them with the Hunter's Axe. Takes care of them pretty quick. Those stairs lead back up there to where that first door was. You'll have this elevator over here, which is a shortcut, but you cannot use it from this side. I love the art and the style in this game. But now we're going to backtrack just slightly to where those dogs were at. Oh, and if you want to run in this game, you just have to hold circle. And if you press circle while you're running, you can do a jump. Doesn't have to be used a lot. Can be slightly useful for dodging some attacks and to get to some secret areas. But that's about it. I do not feel bad about killing the dogs in the crates. Now this area is actually quite the area. You'll get to meet pretty much your first actual NPC. You can also talk to this lady in this door, and she's actually a little bit interesting.
So what is it now? A much better way to pass the time. Unless you found me a nice safe place.
Some NPCs in the game you can actually lead to safe areas. There's two that I know of. I don't know if they're the only two in the game, but there's two that I know of, but you have to discover them first, obviously. But there is actually one I think I could get right now. It's in the clinic, the first building you start out in. There's a lady up there. But right now I haven't talked to her yet. You have to go to the clinic, go to the top of the stairs to the door, and there'll be a lady there saying that you can send people her way and she'll keep them safe. So that'll be one safe area you can send them to. The other one is in Cathedral Ward, which we will get to here soon. We have not been there yet, obviously. But we're going to go in here, and we're going to go ahead and kill this guy who's just around the corner, just because I want to get him out of the way. He's a little annoying. Also, one thing I highly recommend in this game is if... I really like the Hunter Axe because its charge attack is actually pretty fast. There are some weapons that are actually pretty slow with their charge attack. But if you actually find a weapon that you actually like using more, but its charge attack kind of sucks, I highly recommend using the gun. In the middle of an enemy's attack, you can shoot the enemy and kind of stun them, and then you can do a visceral attack on them. That's what they call a parry, and I highly recommend practicing that and getting good at it, because it'll actually really help you a lot. But in this room, what we're going to do is, instead of going down the stairs, we're going to hop out this window. And we're going to walk over here. There will be some bodies hanging on the chains here. If you just whack them, they'll fall down and you can drop down and get them. I think they hold relatively good stuff, so that's pretty good. Now here is where we have our first NPC. I have not talked to her yet in this playthrough, but I recommend talking to her first. She gives you some good stuff.
Oh, a hunter, are you? And an outsider? What a mess you've been caught up in. And tonight of all nights, here to welcome the new hunter.
Alright, she gives you a bold hunter's
Prepare
mark.
yourself for the worst. There are no humans left. They're all flesh-hungry beasts now.
And those are pretty cool. You can go to your inventory, you can see what they do. Awaken anew without losing blood echoes. Really good. I never really used them, but can be really useful, especially if you're going in towards a boss. You may want to use some of those. We're going to talk to her again, though.
About what's wrong? A hunter unnerved by a few beasts. No matter. Without fear in our hearts, we're little different from the beasts themselves.
And she'll give you a shake-off cape, which I think is like an emote or whatever. I don't even remember how to do the emotes, to be honest with you. I honestly don't even remember, but because I never used them.
What are you still doing here? Enough trembling in your boots. A hunter must hunt.
So if you talk to her a few times, she'll give you some stuff. That'll be the end of that. Now, if she does have her own like little quest line that you can do to help her out and stuff like that, because she is a fellow hunter, where she'll give you some stuff in her quest line, like her clothing and her weapons. I don't really want to do the quest line. It's not that, I don't really find it all that worth it, and it spans kind of throughout a good portion of the game, through some areas. So I am actually going to kill her now, and she can be...
Look at you sorry drunk.
She can be a pain. The hunters, you will fight several of them throughout the game. And they fight like you. They're really fast moving. They use their guns and all that. They're just really annoying. And you just gotta fight them smart. A lot of them are more annoying than like bosses themselves, or like regular enemies.
You can't go on like this.
Now when she dies, she will leave the Crow Hunter badge, and I'll show you what she leaves. In the Hunter's Dream, once you go back to the Hunter's Dream, she leaves her armor set and her weapons, and you can purchase those in the Hunter's Dream, which is why I killed her now. I didn't want to do her quest line. I don't think it's really all that important or worth it, particularly. But if you guys want to do it, you can. You'll kind of find your way through it. It's actually not that hard. I just wanted to kill her now, get it over with, so I could get her stuff, because I like her clothing. I liked her armor set. I wanted it. But I will also show you guys the armor set that is found in this area, which we're actually pretty close to, relatively. And I'll show you guys where that's at. And the armor set you find here can actually be used throughout the whole game. It's actually pretty good. But we're going to drop down now. I'm going to heal. Now we're going to sneak up behind this guy. Actually, we'll use the short form. These guys suck. They have really long reach. And the guy with the gun will sometimes come out and try to shoot at you. So you gotta watch out for him. Alright, and now the only other guy in this area, or at least in this floor of this building, is this guy. And from here, there's actually a couple things you could do. You can either drop on either side. There's some rats that you'll have to fight. Do I think it's particularly worth it? Well, it depends. If you knock down the bodies, like there's one body down there wrapped up. That's one of the ones I knocked down from up there. It holds they hold some pretty good stuff. I would recommend getting those. And my throat's all sorts of clogged up today. I apologize for that, but I'll just kind of have to deal with it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drop down here. What do you think you're doing on that box? And we're gonna kill these rats. The rats aren't too bad. They do have like a jumping lunge attack, which can be a little annoying, but overall they're not actually too bad. That's all there is for this. Then we'll hop down here. Now we'll get this Madman's Knowledge, which what this does is, if you're new to the game, you guys saw that at the beginning of this video, I had the doll up and moving. I could talk to her. In order to get the doll moving and talking again, pretty much what the doll does is she allows you to level up your character. In order to awaken the doll, what you need is at least one insight. And your insight is located by the eye at the top or right corner of the screen. You see I have one. You need at least one to wake her up, and then you go to her to level up your character using your blood echoes, which is pretty much the currency in the game, or the points, or whatever you want to call them. And you can actually go to your inventory. The Madman's Knowledge is actually what you use to get insight. So if I go here and use it, you'll see my insight will go up by another point. There are also other ways you can get insight. I believe if you defeat the first boss, he'll give you some insight. But that's kind of the first way you can kind of get insight. Now, we're not going to explore down here quite yet. We're going to go up this ladder. And if you want to go up and down ladders fast, or faster, or you can just hold the circle button. There will be two guys that shoot at you over there, and then this guy, who's a douche. I hate these guys. You gotta watch out for those guys. Their attack pattern is a little weird. And their weapon, they have an attack where they can like boost you up in the air to knock you down, and then they'll stab you on the ground, and that could actually be a one killer combo if you're not careful enough. So keep your distance, hit them, step back, hit them, step back if you have to. Now we're gonna go down here. And I don't know if I got everything that was up here. Yeah, see that rat lunge at me? I don't think so. But the rats will have throwing knives, which I never really used. I used them once for a boss battle, I think, but that was it. So now what we're gonna do is once we're down here, we're gonna go this way. I honestly don't remember if there's anything down this way, but we'll find out. No, there's not. Now the guys with the guns are here. Or they're up top. Ow. And they're not too bad, they're annoying. The main problem in this area is that wolf dude we just killed. He's the bigger problem. He's stronger, has a longer reach with his spear-like weapon. I believe there's a body up there. There's a body over here. And the cold blood dew stuff is just you can use them to get blood echoes if you're a little low. But now we're gonna go this way, now that we're up here. We're gonna kill these crows. There's one hiding behind these barrels here. Now one thing we're gonna do is there's a body on this pillar here. We're gonna jump down there. Oh fuck. I missed. Oh well, there's a ladder. I actually don't want to go up that ladder. That ladder goes up to a different area. So you'll want to go up this ladder. You gotta be a little careful if you're jumping off ledges and stuff, because your character will do like a slight jump and go further off the ledge than you actually think. So you'll kind of have to judge your... You'll kind of have to judge it a little bit differently, and I almost went off there. So you gotta kind of be a little careful, like if you go off the ledge, you'll go a little farther than you think. But Bloodstone Shard, that's actually a good drop. You want those. They are used to upgrade your weapons. And to actually upgrade your weapons does take a little bit of blood souls too, but the main thing you need to upgrade your weapons is those bloodstone shards. There are several different types of them, because once you upgrade your weapon to a certain level, it'll require a different type of bloodstone shard, but those are the most important parts. The amount of blood echoes it takes to go along with that to upgrade your weapon is really small. I mean, it's like less than 1,000, I think, for even like the highest level. So it's not a big deal, to be entirely honest. Now, there's actually a little sewer down that way, which we are not going to go through yet. We are not going to go through that yet, but what we're going to do is we're going to go across the bridge, go this way. Two crows, they are guarding this body, which has an oil urn. I think that's pretty much it for over here. I'm going to go ahead and heal. We're going to drop down here. This just leads to that lower area where we drop down on that pillar. And now, like I said, we're not going to go down there just yet. we're going to leave that area untouched, but we're going to go up this ladder. And this ladder will take us, is pretty much a shortcut from this area to an area we've already been to. Like I said, there's quite a few shortcuts in this game. Utilize them. Utilize them well. Damn. They hit a lot. Alright, and then they are guarding this body, which also holds a madman's knowledge to get some insight. Alright, cross this bridge. And you can talk to some NPCs in this door. But you also have this guy here. It was easy enough to kill. I don't know why he's guarding this door. You can't knock on it or anything. But if you go up this ladder, you can actually go to this window and you'll talk to a little girl. And she'll give you a music box. She asks you to find her mother, and she'll tell you that her mother is, she wears a, like a brooch, a red brooch necklace. She wants you to find her mother and give her dad the music box, which is, I have in my inventory here, tiny music box, a small music box received from a young Yarnum girl. She is in this window. You can talk to her. She'll ask you to find her dad, and we'll actually see her dad. And I believe we find her mom, too. I think I know where her mom is. Not entirely sure. But we are back here where we fought the crows and the big dude was banging on that door. Now we are going to go up here. Kill the dogs. There's also some dudes over there with a dog. Those guys are easy enough, but like I said, if you're just starting out, your character, you just got to be really careful in your fights. I mean, I can't really tell you how to fight your battles, except for the bosses for the most part. You just kind of be careful, try to fight one enemy at a time, and if you can, disperse the group a little bit, kind of attract one from a group and lead them back and fight them. Do that, that's really good. That'll help you a good beat. And now we're going to head up here. And back here is this carriage, which honestly I don't know what it's for. I don't know if there's actually a purpose for this carriage being here or not. Just another area. But this is that bridge that'll lead down that way. Also to the upstairs of that building we went into. But first we're going to go this way. And this will lead to this guy. Where you can get kind of an overview of that area where the mob was. Now we got this body here. But if you keep going, you break the shit in the way. You can actually go down here. There's a ladder there so you can get back up. We're going to drop down here. Drop down here. There's a ladder over there so you can get all the way back up. We're going to drop down. We're going to shoot him. That didn't do anything, but... I missed. Alright, that guy we got. So we're gonna kill these guys. Get them out of the way. There's one of those douchebags right there. I hate these guys. Alright, anyway, I believe that's it for up here. We're going to walk down to the end and we're going to get this on the beam here. If I can aim right. We're gonna get that. Thick, cold blood, 5. Pretty much the higher number means it's like a higher level and it'll give you more. You gotta watch out for that guy over there. There's one of those douchebags behind the corner. We're gonna drop down here. Kill that rat. We're gonna go fight him last. We're gonna kill the other rats that are down here. There we go. And I recommend killing like all the stuff you can. It's a really good experience. There we go. So it doesn't really look like they were guarding anything, just some good experience. But now if we walk all the way back to the douchebag hiding behind the corner. Hey there, guy. Get him out of the way. Collect what he had. Now he was actually guarding this right here, which is the hunter outfit, which is the armor set I was talking about before. You find that you can actually use throughout the whole game. It's actually pretty damn good armor. But what we're actually going to do is we're going to go and equip it. It's actually pretty good armor. You could use it throughout the whole game. And there you have it. It's actually pretty damn good armor. And like I said, we're not going to go down there just yet. Yeah, we're not going to go down there just yet. That actually leads somewhere else. That is important, but would kind of take the events in the wrong order. Because this first area pretty much has 2 bosses. And they're, for the most part, the bosses in this game don't have like a particular order to them, I would say. I guess you can say that they're in a particular order, but really you can take them in any order you want, especially when it comes to the optional bosses. But I guess like stats-wise, strength-wise, that they would have an order. But there's 2 bosses in this area, and they do actually have like a legitimate order. I'm going to do them in order, just because the first one is actually really easy. I beat it on my first try. The second boss, I think, is probably... I don't know if it's my most hated boss in this game, but it's probably up there. He's a real pain in the ass. He's only the second boss in the game, and I hate his fucking guts. But so now we got our new clothing. It's actually my first time seeing this outfit on a female character. My first character was a male character, then I decided to make a female character. I figured why not. But once we're back up here, we're gonna go back to the bridge. Now we're gonna traverse the bridge. Oh fuck. Watch out for these guys. They do have some pretty wild consecutive attacks. And they don't really have a lot of health, but they're pretty strong and they have some consecutive attacks. You don't want to get caught in one of their combos. Alright, I'm out of stamina. There we go. You don't want to get hit in their combos. You fought one of these before in the very first area. It's the first enemy you fight, but you fight one that has half health. These guys, both of them have full health, so you're not going to be quite as lucky. So now we're going to go over here. There'll be a guy around this corner. And this just leads to that second story of that building that we were in, where the 2 guys were hiding. Then you'll have a big douche, which throw a Molotov at them. The Molotovs do a lot of damage to the crows. And actually, another good thing about the Hunter Axe is in whether it's short form or it's long form, you can use items. They're called bolt paper or fire paper, and it'll add either an electricity or a fire attribute to your weapon. And it's actually really good for fighting bosses. And I think for the most part, the beast type enemies are weak against fire, and the hunter type enemies are weak against electricity. So the electricity will be really good against the hunters you randomly find throughout the area, and there is a hunter boss battle. There's 2 of them actually. And now that we defeated those 2, this area right here will lead you to your first boss. So if you have to go back to the Hunter's Dream and prepare, I recommend you do so. It's actually not that bad, but again, it just depends on the type of enemy you're not really good at dealing with. For me, I'm pretty bad at dealing with the hunter type enemies. They're just really fast moving. This is well, you'll see the boss. He's for me, he wasn't too bad. I beat him on my first try before, but I may or may not have gotten lucky at that time, so we'll see. But we're gonna fight this boss. All you gotta do is just walk back a little bit. And there you have your first biggity bitch boss. We're gonna throw a Molotov at him. Now, a good rule of thumb with the big bosses like this is to stay kind of underneath them. Especially with this boss. You can just kind of stay under his crotch and kind of whack at him. Like I said, with this boss, you may not want to lock onto him. Oh, he grabbed me. He never did this before. Huh, that didn't do that much damage. And this guy you can parry to do a visceral attack, which does do a good bit of damage. I recommend you try to do it. Parry if you can. Practice at parrying, it'll help you a lot. And then there's the end of the Cleric beast. Sword, you get the Sword Hunter badge. That is your first boss. Rain some blood. And every time you defeat a boss, it'll spawn a lamp that you can use to fast travel here. And to take you back to the Hunter's Dream. Now, we are not going to go back to the Hunter's Dream, because I've cleared out a good portion of this area, and if you leave and come back, it'll respawn all the enemies. I don't want it to do that. We're going to go straight to the second boss.